Welcome to part 11 of the Scratch tutorial series on making your first game. In this video, I'm going to be covering getting your minions moving on new paths and new spawn locations in level 2. So if you've been following along with the series so far, you should have just created your level 1 pathing for all of your bats. You can see here that the level 2 is visible. If you need to get to level 2, make sure you're set on stop. Click on your level sprite, go to costumes, and just make sure your level 2 is selected, right? You don't want the level 1, you want the level 2 selected. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select bat number 1 here, go to my code, and just make sure I know which bat I'm on. Okay, and I'm going to set him a spawn position, basically, where he will appear in level 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to go looks. We're going to hide him for a moment. We're going to make this guy go over here. He's going to do a basic back and forth patrol. We're going to go motion, making sure that the stop button is pressed. We're going to go to this position. Then he's going to show up. And then we will basically repeat something similar to this for this level 2. So I'm actually just going to right click here, duplicate and drop this underneath here. I'm going to hide these ones and I'm going to delete those ones. And then this right here, because this is level 2, repeat until level is greater than level 2. That means for this one, we can just set this as level 2 and it will work for level 2 because it's not greater than level 2, it is level 2. So that is starting position. And just like we did before, very, very easy, we're just going to take him, move him to the second point on the path, glide 1 second. I'm actually going to change this to 2 because it's a longer distance. And then I'm going to have him glide all the way back here. So I'm actually going to leave that one as 1 second. It'll be a slow way one way and a fast way the other. Gives them a little bit of variation. Bat number 2, he's up here. He's going to have a simple one as well. We're going to get him to do basically a little circle around here. So we are going to make him hide. I'm going to set him to this position. And we're going to go to our go to. So go to here. And we're going to have him appear. And then once again, we're going to put in that repeat until block. In this case, I guess I could. You know what? I'm just going to duplicate this one and we'll delete all this stuff out. So I'm going to right click here, duplicate, scroll all the way down here, drop it in until level is greater than 2. And I'm just going to junk all this stuff right here. And he's starting here. Next point's going to be right here. Remember, you can customize this as you see fit, right? You're not making the exact same game as I'm making. I'm just kind of showing you how to make the code as you would to kind of get you started on this thing. And then lastly, moving him back to that original position. Okay. Bat number 3 is going to be a little bit more of a complex path. He's going to basically follow this all the way down there to the bottom. Sorry, I want bat number 3, which is this bat. I want him to go over here. This guy I'll stick him over there. It doesn't matter because we set his spawn point. I'm going to set this guy up here in the corner. He is going to also, like his brothers, hide. Set that starting point with the go to. It's an absolute value. And show, and then once again duplicate this, stick it under there. Remember, I can just right click, hit duplicate until level is greater than 2, delete the rest of this, and we're just going to set his path by dragging him to the point and doing our glide 2 blocks. Very, very easy to do. Just remember the key is each basically turn in direction between 2 points is another glide block, and they move in straight lines between those points, right? This one's going to be real long because he does have to do a lot of directional changing. And glide. And this will be his end point. Now, we could make this a teleporting bat, because this is a very long path. But I think we'll just, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We will move him back, gliding 1 second every time. Obviously takes this guy quite a while to, and actually move him on diagonals here on his way back, just to cut down some of these transitions at least a little bit. It's a very, very long. And back to his starting position. Okay, let's give this a test. Remember, we're in part 1 here. Ooh, just got wrecked there. Make sure you double click the flag always, otherwise they won't necessarily reset, which can be a bit annoying. I'm just going to click and drag my guy over these donuts to do my testing. It's just a quick way of doing it. Ooh. So that guy got me. Oh, I see. We've got a little bit of glitchiness going on here. Some of these basically didn't finish their last pathing and had to finish that out as they were kind of coming around here. It's a bit of an annoying factor. Okay, looks like I've got all of these. These are on their paths, but yeah, they didn't finish their previous paths. That is kind of one of the problems with if you have a really long glide to thing. It has to finish the previous one before it jumps into the other one. There are ways to program in stops to it, but it is a bit annoying. I find it easier when you're doing these. Keep your paths simple. I kind of didn't listen to my own rule there, and I made them go a little bit funky there for the beginning of this level before they switch back into their standard paths. Something to think about. Often what I'll do if I'm going to get more complex than this game is I'll actually do a transition screen between levels. It basically gives everything enough time to reset its pathing and go to where it needs to be to start up the second level or the next level, which is a pretty useful way of doing it. You can also do it with things like broadcasts. Okay, that's it for this one. This is a little bit shorter of a tutorial. That is doing your minion pathing in level 2. Obviously, the same thing applies if you want to add more levels. You just always make sure that each of those variables is changing correctly as you switch between levels, points, lives, etc. And then you just continue updating that code in the same sort of way. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here, and the next one is going to be the final video in the basic series, which will be your basic win and loss screens.